What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Swipe Up, where I share some of my favorite posts from Instagram. Let's get into it with some Photoshop work from the account GM of PS, the artist Claire Luxan Studio. Luxton. Yeah, so watch the video version of this episode for the audio listeners of the podcast. But just visually really cool. It's a close up on a mouth with it's been I don't know if it's Photoshop, so it's photos. But there's like a pill in between two lips of a mouth, and the pill is full of different things. One is butterflies. The other's like a little tropical scene. The other one's a little goldfish. And then it moves on to like oil coming out of the mouth. Just like a hyper real kind of interesting view, which I wonder what parts of these are photoshopped. Like, is the whole thing photoshopped? Are the mouths real, but everything around the mouth? Like, I want to know how much of what's going on is Photoshop. But visually, a very cool style of work. You know, it reminds me of like I remember my friend's house growing up. One of my friend's house growing up, they had this artwork on the wall that was very minimal, and there were photographs, but it was like a carrot, just on a table, like on a white table, just very, very simple painting or a photo. And then like halfway down the carrot, it's black and white. Very similar to like these, without the mouths, but very similar kind of thing. And that was like the 80s, 90s. This is like before Photoshop. So they were they were photos by somebody. And just set up to look kind of like Photoshop. But anyway, that's kind of what that reminded me of. Anyway, moving on to Alyssa Milano posting this video from Boston Dynamics, Wired. It's crazy that I've seen the evolution of these robots, right? Like Boston Dynamic, they've been putting these videos out for probably a decade plus now. Probably around, and like the early ones, it was like getting the robot to just stand up was a feat in itself. And now there's this robot, not connected by a tether, by the way, like they used to, where they would probably pump power in or whatever. Fully autonomous robot doing a gymnastic floor routine. Better than probably 99% of the human population wouldn't be able to do just a basic floor routine like this. I definitely wouldn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a little bit higher percentage. But they can just manufacture robots to do this. It's going to be the future very soon is going to be crazy. Not just robots, but AI, everybody losing their jobs. There's so many jobs, like self-driving cars, like so many jobs. It's going to be interesting what employment is going to look like in like a decade. But this is just terrifying seeing. It's beautiful seeing the robot. It's an engineering feat to be able to make a robot do that. Yeah. Anyway, moving on to Worldstar. Just a little post. When people waiting on you on your downfall, but I can't read, people. I suck at reading out loud. When people waiting on your downfall, but you a goat. And it's a bunch of goats on like just almost sheer, just straight up and down cliffs, just chilling. There's one of the goats looks to be literally using its tongue to help maintain stability. I mean, it's just if you watch like Planet Earth and those kinds of nature show documentaries, they've featured these goats before, or just goats in general may have this ability, and their feet are designed specifically. But it's a good, as far as life is concerned, it does feel like at any moment I could just tragically tumble into nothingness. Yeah. Motherfuckers, stop waiting on my downfall. I've already there. Moving on to another one from Worldstar. This time it's Clear Boat. And they asked the question, would y'all ride this glass boat? Fuck yes, I would ride that glass boat. It's like just a basic clear boat, like something you'd fish out of maybe. Look to be on an ocean, very clear water. I don't know how clear that water is, but I would that would be amazing. I don't know how good it would be to like fish out of a boat like that, and you'd probably get an insane sunburn from just the glare of the sun. But it's surprising there's not more boats like this around. Like, why wouldn't you make clear boats? If you have like a business in a touristy destination, like you want people to go get a look at like a coral reef and they don't have to dive into the water and just go over it, maybe get an electric motor. Probably not a good idea on water, but yeah, I'd for sure go on a clear boat. For sure. Like, there are multiple reasons I would want a clear boat. One, nobody has a clear boat. But I'd get back into fishing. I used to fish. There's some lakes out in Southern California I used to fish at. Did some shore fishing also, but I would definitely use that to which I don't know how good that would be, because you're not supposed to be, the fish would be able to see you. And that's the whole point. Sometimes you want to be quiet when you're fishing, but still, for sure, clear boats. Why are there not more? But that's it for this episode of Swipe Up. Those are just a few of the posts that I enjoyed this past week. Let me do some shout out. Shout out to GM of PS. Shout out Claire Luxton Studio. Shout out Milano _Alyssa. Shout out Wired. Shout out Worldstar. And shout out PhilSwift.tv. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at InspiredDisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!